Tonight, Perth serves up a Christmas roast with a 40-degree scorcher. How the rest of the country came together in a year like no other. Thousands in lockdown or under restrictions make the most of it, proving some things never change. Loved ones reunited as WA reopens its border to South Australia. Just 7 new COVID cases in New South Wales from a record-shattering 69,000 tests. And a Christmas gift for British Prime Minister Boris Johnson. After 4 very long years, a Brexit trade deal is done.
This is 10 News First with Charlotte Goodlet.
Good evening. Australians have today celebrated a Christmas like no other. For some, that meant the usual presents, family and feasts. For others, it meant a day in isolation or lockdown, separated from those they love. In the west, Perth sweltered through one of its hottest Christmas days on record, and the coast is where thousands kicked off their festivities.
Dry heat and a light breeze, the perfect setup for a beachside Christmas roast.
I think it'd be original. I'll have some champagne and sun and swim, just to be different from everyone else in Perth.
On a day where even fitness is festive, thousands of families made the most of the scorching temperatures.
Perth is pretty nice everywhere, so it doesn't matter where you go.
What have you been doing at the beach?
Been jumping in the wave.
Some head out early to get a good spot by the water.
Well, I was here at about 6:30 in the morning. There was probably another couple of crews set up over there, and yeah, a couple crays, a few prawns. Typical Aussie Christmas.
But not before opening their gifts.
I've got an airplane one and a Batman. I got a Barbie dream house, a waterproof camera.
Christmas in Perth, hotter than any capital city in the world. It was 30 degrees at 8 a.m, the mercury hitting 40 just after lunch.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a big family Christmas. Everyone's supposed to be coming down from the UK, but they're stuck in level 2, 3, 4 tiers, so they're all still back there, so it's just the 3 of us.
Thousands who have made it home spending Christmas in isolation in WA hotels. As well as social distancing, bookings were required for some church services. As parishes stay COVID safe. In the eastern states, no lockdown could put a lid on today's joy. Sydney's northern beaches celebrating Christmas under Australia's tightest restrictions with a 5-visitor limit. The streets unseasonally quiet, residents only allowed out for exercise. Of course, Santa knows where to find everyone, and after a sleepless tippy-toe night, even he was Zooming this morning with children in hospital.
Great googly mooglies, it's Christmas Day.
7-year-old Annabella keeping him on his toes.
Are you going to be a good boy this year? Are you going to stay out of jail?
This is Christmas. State of jail? I know that I've been...
Nathan Brooks.
Merry Christmas!
For 10 News First.
West Australian and South Australian families were given the best present anyone could ask for today. Open borders. Restrictions eased at midnight, paving the way for emotional reunions, just in time for Christmas lunch.
The countdown finally over.
You can see how excited we are. It's just beautiful. It's been 12 months. It's just beautiful.
Loved ones separated for so long, reunited as the state reopens to South Australia. And it felt so good.
Merry Christmas.
As they left the plane, G2G passes were scanned, a quick temperature check, no more mandatory isolation. Those waiting gifted with the best Christmas present of all.
100% the best Christmas present ever. Definitely. She is my Christmas present.
Earlier in South Australia, the airport was full of cheer.
It's been a long time, coming, but we're glad he's here. And he's safe. And that's the main thing.
It's probably the best Christmas present I could ask for.
The border between the two states was snapped shut almost immediately after it opened in November due to a COVID outbreak in Adelaide. Premier Mark McGowan announcing earlier this week travel to and from the state would be quarantine-free from Christmas Day.
We changed our flights 3 times because we kept thinking we were going to come and we weren't. So, we're just so happy, so happy.
I'm really happy to be here because we haven't seen each other since last Christmas.
The reopening of the border to South Australia means New South Wales is now the only state with which WA has a hard border. With only a few direct flights available, tickets weren't cheap.
Probably double than what I would normally pay to get home, but I mean, I haven't been home all year, so you've been saving that up throughout the year, so you got to do it, I think.
Just to get over there, I'd just, pay the amount I have to, yeah.
A small price to pay for what the festive season is really all about. Alexandra Ristway for 10 News First.
A Christmas present for New South Wales. Only 7 new COVID-19 cases have been recorded across the state. It comes on yet another record-breaking testing day, with nearly 70,000 people turning out to get swabbed. 4 of the new cases are linked directly to the Avalon cluster and 2 are close contacts of a previous case. Another case is also based on the Northern Beaches but remains under investigation. And Premier Gladys Berejiklian is urging Boxing Day shoppers to stay home and instead do their bargain hunting online.
We want to discourage people going to the CBD tomorrow. Please limit your activity. If you are going shopping in the CBD, make sure you wear a mask.
Anyone choosing to head out tomorrow is being advised to check the New South Wales Health website for updates. It's been a tough year for us all, but toughest for the most vulnerable in our communities. Today, charities right across the country made sure Christmas Day was a cracker for those that need it most.
A helping hand for what can be the hardest time of the year.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
In Sydney, masks couldn't hide the smiles on these faces as one by one gift bags packed to the brim were eagerly collected.
We have blankets, water bottles, beanies, ponchos. We have a stocking this year with some lollies, a candy cane and some Lindt chocolate.
12-year-old Annalise Hayes spends her holidays helping others, those who would otherwise spend Christmas Day alone.
I'm on my own. I just lost my daughter a couple of years ago, so I've got nobody here. So the happiness, the smiles and the happiness that they have when they get their gifts.
In a year when so many of us have done it tough, charities have been overwhelmed, struggling to keep up with demand from those who never thought they'd need help.
And the mood is different. The mood's the same, but it's muted and a little bit more thoughtful and more aware that we need each other.
COVID reminding us of what really matters.
Lovely. Isn't it lovely to be able to all get together and have a good time?
In Brisbane, traditional sit-down lunches were scaled back, but after months of separation and social isolation,
being able to get out and chat to people and just not be by themselves in one room is it's life-changing, well, year-changing anyway.
I think it's really good that we can get everyone together, even socially distanced, we can all still be a community.
A craving for connection and companionship finally fulfilled, warming hearts and empty stomachs and sparking hope for the new year.
Having this morning sort of lifts them up a little bit. Hopefully it brightens the rest of their day and then gives them something to look forward to for next year.
Samantha Butler for 10 News First.
Just like everything else this year, Christmas church services have been altered due to the pandemic. But this year, religious leaders have asked us not to forget the lessons we learned during the crisis and to focus on what is really important to us.
After a year when faith in the fundamentals has been profoundly shaken, many chose Christmas to seek comfort in their beliefs. In Sydney, services were disrupted. The outbreak meant congregations were capped at 300 people, temperature checks at the door, and no singing or dancing for parishioners. St Andrews put their mass online instead, broadcasting no barrier to the divine. It wasn't an issue in other parts of the country, crowds packing out midnight masses to remember a year that's left a mark on all of us.
But it's completely understandable that people are weary.
We are tired, physically, emotionally, and yes, spiritually too.
Sydney Archbishop Anthony Fisher used his sermon to recount a personal story. 5 years ago today, he showed the first signs of Guillain-Barré syndrome.
I spent 5 months in hospital recovering while experiencing paralysis and pain, humiliation and total dependence.
A feeling so many have shared after a year that began with bushfires and ended in the midst of a global pandemic.
This year has been one of enforced retreat for us, and that has meant the getting of some wisdom about human vulnerability and interconnectedness. We must not lose that wisdom.
Being with people, in person, in the flesh, is profoundly significant.
God hasn't given up on us. He hasn't given up on you. He hasn't given up on our world. He has sent Jesus.
So for all the days of pain, heartache, boredom and despair, on this one day we should all have a Merry Christmas. Ursula Hager for 10 News First.
To other news now, and police are hunting the driver of a ute over a hit-and-run crash in Beachborough which left a grandmother in hospital. Security camera captured the moment the silver dual cab collided with a white SUV. But instead of stopping to help the 60-year-old victim, the ute's driver took off. The crash happened just before 9 this morning on Amazon Drive. It's understood the woman had been on the way to pick up her elderly father for Christmas breakfast. She's being treated for minor injuries, and anyone with information should call police. A 2-year-old boy has been killed after he was thrown off a quad bike on a northeast Victorian farm. The boy was trapped underneath the vehicle, and despite attempts to revive the toddler, he died at the scene. The driver of the vehicle is assisting police with their inquiries. 10 people have been pulled from the water in a mass rescue at a Queensland beach. It happened around lunchtime at Warana on the Sunshine Coast. A woman in her 40s, a teenager and a child were all taken to hospital and are currently stable. 7 other people were assessed but didn't require treatment. Lifeguards say it's a timely reminder for all beachgoers to swim between the red and yellow flags. A woman remains in hospital following a meat cleaver attack in Sydney. A neighbour heard cries for help and entered a nearby unit just after midnight before being chased outside by a 17-year-old girl armed with a meat cleaver. The 48-year-old victim was later found in the garden with multiple injuries and was taken to hospital in a serious condition. Police have arrested the teenager. The UK's Prime Minister Boris Johnson has got his Christmas wish, a Brexit trade deal agreed after negotiating throughout the night. It marks the end of a 4-decade partnership between Britain and Europe. Phoebe Bowden has more.
Boris Johnson made Brexit his life's ambition. As London Mayor, he campaigned.
Do you think that the British taxpayer should be supporting Spanish bill voting?
Now as Prime Minister, he's done it.
We've taken back control of our laws and our destiny. We've taken back control of every jot and tittle of our regulation.
The European Union was more sombre, announcing a trade deal had been reached, quoting Romeo and Juliet.
Parting is such sweet sorrow.
The trade transition ends next week, but until today there was no deal to govern life beyond Brexit. Half a dozen unmissable deadlines passed before this moment.
I think if I was to sum up my feelings about Brexit in one word, it would be fatigue.
What it came down to?
Our own fish that we can fish in our waters.
That's right, fish. Almost derailed a trade deal worth more than $1 billion Aussie dollars a year.
A Brexit trade deal was always going to make more sense economically than having nothing in place at all, although politically it's a different issue.
It's impossible to keep everyone happy, so Boris Johnson had to make it look like he got the only deal to be had.
Haven't had a chance to read the 2,000 pages, but a deal is obviously better than no deal.
Brexit cost 2 other British PMs their jobs. One because they thought Brexit was wrong.
If you jump out of the aeroplane, you cannot clamber back through the cockpit hatch.
The other couldn't get a deal done.
Brexit means Brexit.
As one chapter closes, another opens.
I'll vote for independence and for Scotland.
A fight for Scottish independence, which would break up the United Kingdom, is slated to take centre stage in 2021. Phoebe Bowden for 10 News First, London.
Still to come, 9 months closed but not out. Cricket returns to the MCG. And roller snakes, and Aussie Business releases a pretty wild marketing campaign.
We've been the hosts of a popular show
in the African jungle where celebrities go.
But COVID-19 has cut close to the bone, so this year we're staying home.
Kind of famous people from here and abroad have signed on for January 3. A pop star, renowned chef, an AFL player, and many more. Just wait and see. Yes, we'll still have our winner crowned on their throne.
But this year you'll see
On January 3, this year we're staying
It's Baby Hi-Fi's Interview Madness with crazy half-price deals while stocks last. Like these JBL wireless sports headphones, half price. Sennheiser wireless noise-cancelling headphones, half price. Garmin Vivo Active 3 sports watches, crunch to $249. That's half price. JB, you've done it again.
More Australian pet owners and their dogs love NexGard Spectra. The most complete parasite protection in one tasty chew. NexGard.
Watch what I do. Watch what I do.
He did promise to keep her company. Is it rude to wake him? Maybe. Thank you, Roads of Australia. The Toyota RAV4, the return of recreation. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
However you share the love this Christmas, find the perfect gift at Morris Mead. Love Perth Christmas? Love Morris Mead.
The Blinds Gallery's huge 50% off post-Christmas sale. Save up to 50% on indoor and outdoor blinds, curtains, shutters and awnings. Hurry, start the new year with a new look.
Call 137 127 The Blinds Gallery.
Discover the art of simplicity at the King's Summer Sale. Save up to 50% on Australian design. So why buy ordinary furniture when you can come home to King's?
Hey, I just found a farm where they let you chop down your own tree. Oh, cool.
It's a big bangin' Christmas week.
Leonard,
Yeah.
there's something on the windshield.
Catch another Christmas episode tonight on 10.
While thousands of people made it home for Christmas, many were still forced to spend the day alone. Quarantine laws saw huge numbers of returned Aussies stuck in hotel rooms, while their families celebrated the festive season without them.
So close and yet so far from those they love at Christmas. More than 10,000 Australians spent the most wonderful day of the year confined to a hotel room.
Merry Christmas,
Merry Christmas, darling. The returned Australians were treated to a festive quarantine meal.
So they're giving us a bit of turkey, beans, a little potato as well.
Christmas crackers and all.
What kind of sweet goes swinging through the jungle? Tarzipan.
But with 14 long days blurring into one, today was much like any other in isolation, as families did their best to keep kids entertained and spirits high.
A church house, gin house.
It's it's always a very special time of year, and there's always, plenty of laughs and things like that. So I'll definitely miss that this afternoon.
Santa was given special permission to visit Australia's quarantine hotels. Christmas wish lists fulfilled by some helpful elves at Target in Melbourne, which donated gifts to 500 children.
Oh, it's so important because these people can't get out and be able to socialise with their family and friends. And it's been a really, really tough year already this year.
Although it's not the way anyone wants to spend Christmas, those in quarantine consider themselves lucky just to be back on home soil, unlike thousands of other Australians stranded overseas.
Today is not about feeling sorry for Australians that are stuck in quarantine. It's about feeling sorry for those who are not lucky enough to have the certainty of knowing when they're going to be able to set foot in their home country again.
Here's hoping they can come home soon.
It's the 21st of December.
Estelle Lewis for 10 News First.
The Aussie cricket team is preparing for a Boxing Day test like no other. They've been training in a COVID bubble, and border lockdowns means most are without their family on Christmas Day. But they're still surrounded with plenty of love from fans as they prepare to be the first athletes to play at the MCG since it closed in March.
After 9 long months in a COVID sin bin, the MCG is back, and Australia's cricket coach was keen to inspect the Christmas crease. If today's training session is anything to go by, tomorrow's game is going to be a belter. After months of uncertainty, the Boxing Day test is back on the season greetings menu, and the Aussies are planning on dishing up quite the spread.
And we take huge pride in making Australians proud of their test team.
To their die-hard fans, they're already winners.
We start every Christmas morning this way because we live just up the hill. So
it's our tradition. How do you think our boys' form is this morning down there?
Looking pretty good. Batting's pretty good. Minus played a couple good shots, so is Smitty. So I think we're looking good for the second test.
But there were some traitors among the crowd, though.
Well, I'm putting my money on Australia, but the heart is with India, I suppose. So, yes, the heart is with India.
Noah's not worried.
Without Kohli, I think the Indians might struggle a bit.
And the skipper is loving the feedback.
Part of what makes us want to play well is to inspire these young kids who want to follow in our footsteps. So we can't wait to get out there tomorrow, put on a show for them.
But for some, even the star-studded lineup of baggy greens doesn't quite trump Christmas. Have you already opened your presents from Santa this morning?
Yes.
How'd you go?
Super good.
Are you trying to tell me that you'd prefer a turkey over Steve Smith?
Yes.
Sorry, Steve, but turkey is delicious. What's the best part of the Christmas lunch, Doofy?
It is very easy. It's just that. I might see you tomorrow.
I concur. And nothing will be sweeter than a victory at the G. Natasha Rexelby for 10 News First.
All that talk of turkey has got me thinking of a Christmas roast, and that is exactly what Perth got today. Josh Holder's here with the weather details, and Josh, it was hot.
It certainly was. Good to see Tash on fire there as well. Good evening, Charlotte. Yes, we did certainly see those temperatures spike up. In fact, 11 degrees above average for Perth today, hitting a top of 40 this afternoon. Now, that is the hottest Christmas day in over a decade, in fact, since 2007, and still currently sitting on 31 degrees. Most areas of WA did remain clear today, although we have seen some decent rainfall over the last 24 hours in parts of the Kimberley. Some locations picking up 65 millimetres into the gauge. That is due to the active monsoon we've got going at the moment, a trough of low pressure also adjacent to the west coast. And as we take a look at these temperatures, it was hot for Bickley, 39 degrees for Christmas Day. Jandakot hitting the same mark, 36 in Mandurah, and we hit 43 in Bullsbrook. Further north, 34 the top in Broome, 36 for Port Hedland, 40 for Kalgoorlie, and 42 for Esperance. Is there any relief inside Charlotte? That's what everyone's asking. All the details.
I know, I bet a lot of people are going to be holding you to it.
They will be indeed. Public enemy number one.
The weatherman. Thank you, Josh. Up next, fears for a Christmas COVID spike as countries hit record case numbers across the globe. 160 million years of history uncovered in a building site. And never say never, Michael Jackson's infamous ranch finally sells for a fraction of its original price. And Santa takes 5 to hang 10 before making his very special Christmas deliveries.
Hey, this is Shane here. I'm on service over in the Middle East. Just giving a big Christmas shout out to everyone back in Australia. I love you and I miss you, and I can't wait to be back with you in the new year.
G'day, my name's Sergeant Dale Kay, currently deployed on operations in the Middle East. I'd like to say Merry Christmas to my wife Amy, my kids Ashton, Lily and Reed, and my mum Sue. Merry Christmas and I'll see you soon.
Hello, we're the Australian surgical team deployed on operations in the Middle East. This is a shout out to our friends and family back in Australia. Merry Christmas and we look forward to seeing you again really soon. Merry Christmas!
Hi, my name's Captain Jess Law and I want to wish my husband James a very Merry Christmas, our dogs Pippa and Frankie, also my sister Jo, her husband Rick and the boys Henry and Ethan. Hey guys, Merry Christmas, can't wait to see you.
G'day, I'm Flight Lieutenant Paul Habrecht, working with the UN in South Sudan on Operation Aslan. I'd like to wish my family, friends and colleagues a very Merry Christmas. A special shout out to my wife Amanda and our 3 children, Jasmine, Jordan and Aaron.
Hey, I'm Private Morgan, currently deployed in the Middle East. I just want to shout out to my mum, dad and my 2 sisters. I just want to wish them a Merry Christmas and I hope to get to see you guys soon.
A comedian is heading into the Aussie jungle. But when he was in the Hollywood jungle, he had anger management issues.
Mel, who's laughing now?
I think that's the Kookaburras, Julia.
Find out who's going into the Aussie jungle. Jan 3.
Times have been tough on small business, so Visa wants to help connect consumers with small businesses that need your support. It's called Where You Shop Matters, and it's about making a conscious decision, because where you shop can make a real difference.
Siegel's outdoor furniture sale now on. Everything up to 70% off. Fira sofa dining set was $7.99, now a crazy $4.99. Avalon modular was $8.99, now $6.99. Newport sofa set was $8.99, now $6.99. Cairns daybed was $8.99, now $6.99. Cuba 10-seater was $13.99, now $9.99. Marseille sofa dining was $13.99, now $9.99. Siegel's up to 70% off sale now on.
The Good Guys famous knockout sale is on now. $158 off this Bosch dishwasher, $150 off this DeLonghi coffee machine, this 75-inch TV under $1,000, and get 28% off this Samsung soundbar. Plus loads more only at The Good Guys.
OMG, what a night. I probably look like... Shut up, my skin looks amazing.
New Olay Retinol 24 Night Serum. Look how plump and bouncy. Girl, it really works.
Want to open the door to a bright new future? There's never been a better time. Heaps of course fees have been slashed by up to 72%. And there's even free training if you're under 25 or looking for work. Get the skills you need for the job you want. Contact your local Jobs and Skills Centre, TAFE or private training provider. Or search Jobs and Skills WA. Authorised by the State Government, Perth.
It's hot. Too hot. So do something delicious about it. McCafe iced coffee. Real coffee, real cold. And absolutely perfect for summer mornings. Drive through today.
More Australian pet owners and their dogs love NexGard Spectra. The most complete parasite protection in one tasty tube. NexGard.
Discover the art of simplicity at the King's Summer Sale. Save up to 50% on Australian design. So why buy ordinary furniture when you can come home to King's?
Mary Star, Wayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, Sir Michael Palin.
Just call me sir.
Singers, stars and sirs, all on Graham Norton.
The Queen has thanked health workers as they battle Britain's worsening COVID crisis in her annual Christmas message. The 94-year-old monarch spoke of finding light in the darkest of times.
Every year, we herald the coming of Christmas by turning on the lights. And light does more than create a festive mood. Light brings hope. For Christians, Jesus is the light of the world, but we can't celebrate his birth today in quite the usual way. People of all faiths have been unable to gather as they would wish for their festivals, such as Passover, Easter, Eid, and Vaisakhi. But we need life to go on. Last month, fireworks lit up the sky around Windsor as Hindus, Sikhs, and Jains celebrated Diwali, the Festival of Lights, providing joyous moments of hope and unity despite social distancing. Remarkably, a year that has necessarily kept people apart has in many ways brought us closer. Across the Commonwealth, my family and I have been inspired by stories of people volunteering in their communities, helping those in need. In the United Kingdom and around the world, people have risen magnificently to the challenges of the year, and I'm so proud and moved by this quiet, indomitable spirit. To our young people in particular, I say thank you for the part you have played. This year, we celebrated International Nurses' Day on the 200th anniversary of the birth of Florence Nightingale. As with other nursing pioneers like Mary Seacole, Florence Nightingale shone a lamp of hope across the world. Today, our frontline services still shine that lamp for us, supported by the amazing achievements of modern science, and we owe them a debt of gratitude. We continue to be inspired by the kindness of strangers and draw comfort that even on the darkest nights, there is hope in the new dawn.
For the first time, crowds have been turned away at Bethlehem, and the Pope has delivered midnight mass to almost no one. In a fitting end to a strange year, hundreds of millions around the world have been forbidden from seeing their families today.
It's the first Christmas in thousands of years Bethlehem is almost empty. Army patrols to keep the masses of faithful away from the West Bank as the Church of Nativity is disinfected and visitors turned away. The Pope too experiencing Christmas like never before, delivering Mass to just a handful of people at the Vatican. Sporting hard hats in the fire-wrecked Notre Dame in Paris. A socially distanced performance broadcast to the world.
'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the house...
A new type of Christmas bringing new traditions.
Merry Christmas to all.
Prince Charles reviving his theatrical talent and teaming up with some celebrity friends.
On Donner and Blitzen.
He has stepped up this year with his mother, Queen Elizabeth, forced into isolation. Later today, her annual message will be broadcast around the world. It's been called the toughest Christmas since the war in Britain and right across Europe. Many are banned from seeing their families.
Hundreds of millions of people are today making great, heart-wrenching sacrifices by staying apart to stay safe.
There's still plenty to celebrate though. This 85-year-old COVID survivor was reunited with her family today. But as many sit lonely around the world today, they know the sacrifices made this Christmas will mean they are not alone next year. Phoebe Bowden for 10 News First, London.
After months of downplaying COVID-19, Donald Trump has changed his tune, using his Christmas message to praise scientists, first responders and frontline workers for their efforts in fighting the virus. Trump even called the vaccine breakthrough a miracle before wishing the country a Merry Christmas.
We're grateful for all of the scientists, researchers, manufacturing workers and service members who have worked tirelessly to make this breakthrough possible. It is truly a Christmas miracle.
It comes as the US reports almost 200,000 new infections for the past 24 hours and 337,000 total COVID deaths. As Christmas strikes, Brazil's COVID crisis may go from bad to a whole lot worse. Across the country, thousands are hitting the streets in a last-minute shopping blitz. Yesterday, Brazil reported almost 60,000 new cases in just 24 hours. The country is steadily approaching 7.5 million infections and 200,000 deaths. South Africa is getting hit hard by a second wave of coronavirus and has set a new record for daily infections. More than 14,000 new cases have been reported, and there is no sign it will stop there. That surpasses the country's peak from back in July. Meanwhile, a new mutant strain has been found in Nigeria, making it the third discovery after the mutations reported in South Africa and Britain. Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch has finally sold 10 years after the singer's death. Billionaire investor Ron Burkle, a former family friend of Jackson, bought the California property for $29 million. It sounds like a steal, considering in 2015 the asking price was a whopping $132 million. Burkle saw the investment as a land banking opportunity for future development. Jackson abandoned the ranch following his trial on charges of molesting a young boy there. Scientists have discovered a giant dinosaur bone in China's Sichuan province. A former paleontologist noticed the fossil while passing the construction site on Monday and quickly alerted a local museum, which sent a team down to investigate. They quickly uncovered the 1.1 metre long femur that dates back around 160 million years. A baby dolphin has been given a second chance at life after it was rescued from an Argentinian beach. The small aquatic mammal was found stranded on the sand, so rescuers worked to keep it wet before wrapping it in a towel and taking it to a rehabilitation facility. There, it was measured and had all its vitals checked. It will be looked after at the facility before they can hopefully set it free again into the wild. And Santa took some time out ahead of delivering presents, hitting the surf in Florida to spread some much-needed holiday cheer. It's a 10-year-old tradition at Cocoa Beach, and it usually sees hundreds of surfers paddle out. But this year looked a little different, as does everything. Participants were asked to record a surf set rather than attend in person to, of course, reduce the risk of catching coronavirus. Still to come on 10 News First Perth. It's a blue Christmas for thousands of Australians stuck overseas thanks to travel restrictions. And meet the new mums and dads who received the ultimate Christmas present.
Jan 3, I'm a Celebrity starts. A great singer is heading into the Aussie jungle. Check it out. He's sung on the world stage, but now
he'll be singing for his supper.
Find out who's going into the Aussie jungle. Jan 3.
Discover the art of simplicity at the King's Summer Sale. Save up to 50% on Australian design. So why buy ordinary furniture when you can come home to King's?
I think my favourite time together as a family is definitely at the end of the day. Everyone's come home from work.
With a bonus laundry upgrade, Joyce Kitchens will make your home paradise. Joyce Kitchens, upgrades made it.
Welcome to the Cretaceous period.
The only way to survive is if the pack stays together.
Where the world's first family laugh in the face of danger. Living by one rule. Eat or be eaten.
I'm sorry.
There's nothing us crudes can't handle.
Kill circle. Hey everyone, you'll never guess what I found out! Sorry. Never apologize for an effective kill circle.
The Cruise, a new age.
Spotlight's biggest sale ever starts tomorrow. 40% off all artificial potted plants, 50% off all cushions and throws, 20 to 50% off all kitchen and dining. So decorate it, celebrate it and create it for less. Sale starts tomorrow. At Spotlight, it's what you make it.
It's time. Your new sleigh.
No runners.
Welcome to the future.
Introducing new Gillette Skin Guard, a revolutionary technology to reduce pressure from your shave and reduce irritation on your face. Gillette Skin Guard, clinically proven for sensitive skin.
Cabin fishing is BCF fun.
It's the big one, the BCF Boxing Day sale. Members grab 25% off clothing, headwear and footwear. Looking sharp.
BCF fun. Hey!
Thousands of Australians are still stranded overseas this Christmas, unable to get home because of the COVID-19 travel restrictions. A rotten end to what's been a pretty miserable year. And for many, even 2021 doesn't offer much hope.
Fish and chips on the beach, a quintessential Aussie Christmas, only it's not. Deb Tellis and her daughter Isha are trying to recreate their Newcastle family tradition in Goa, India. But it can't wash away the stress and anxiety they're living through.
The latest is that we may possibly get back next year on a Qatar flight, around maybe March, April.
39,000 stranded Australians are spending Christmas alone, the federal government failing on its promise to get them home in time.
Feel abandoned. I never thought I'd see the day where I wouldn't be able to get home to Australia.
FaceTime is the only way Chelsea Schmidt can see her family on Christmas.
My message to my family back home are, I love you all so much and I miss you so much.
Hampered by tough restrictions, Marisa Ferraro's tried her best to serve up some Christmas magic for her daughter.
What do we say?
Merry Christmas! I can't wait for sunny cuddles.
Merry Christmas!
Stranded families ensuring Santa Claus knows to redirect his sleigh.
What does no one for Christmas off Santa Claus? Cars.
He's lost his tongue, hasn't he?
But for the Whitten family, Santa could do one better. A plane.
It's just been an absolutely gruelling process. Emotionally empty is the best way to describe it, and just some fantastic news through a travel agent in the last 24 hours has meant that we are able to come home.
A Christmas miracle, and yet for tens of thousands of other Australians, it's a wish that won't come true. Chloe Boris for 10 News First.
If there wasn't already enough to celebrate today, some mums and dads got perhaps the best Christmas gift of all. Maternity wards around the country were kept very busy with some very special arrivals.
A beautiful bundle of joy that just couldn't wait.
It's the best present you could ask for, yeah.
Arland Oscar was due on Boxing Day but decided to make an early entrance.
Well, we got ready to go to bed. We went to bed about 9 o'clock last night. And I was nodding off, and then Steph jumped up. Not happening. So I thought, yeah, it's going to be a long night.
After an hour-long labour, he arrived at 12:12 this morning, becoming one of this year's first Christmas babies in the country, if not the world. He weighs just 3 kilograms and spent the day sleeping.
I thought at first I wanted him to have his own day, but it's kind of special because my granddad was actually born on the same day.
Midwives at Melbourne's maternity wards were kept busy too.
You can't wish for anything better at Christmas, so.
Baby Matilda arriving 2 weeks before her due date, surprising even mum and dad who had to put Christmas plans on hold.
I'd already pre-made my pavlova, so that's already contributed, and they'll be at my auntie's house having lunch now.
Up the corridor, another newborn, baby Milan, arriving early this morning.
Some people doesn't like their babies to be born on Christmas, but we think it's a very, very nice surprise for me, for him, and for the whole family.
And even though these parents didn't plan for this date, it's still perfect. John Paul Gonzo for 10 News First.
An Aussie Outback tour guide has released a pretty wild promotional video catching snakes while on roller skates. Animal expert Andrew Uckells Hot Wheels his way through the desert in a quest to find the world's most venomous snake, the inland taipan. He stumbles across the reclusive desert unicorn before putting the Australian beauty on display. The snake's extremely potent venom can kill an adult human in 45 minutes. Well, that doesn't sound like the job for us, Emma, does it? We're happy being here. So, speaking of sport, Emma, big day tomorrow for our Aussie cricketers.
Everyone loves the Boxing Day test, Shal, and Tim Payne and his side are out to make our nation proud, especially after the year that has been. Today, at least, they were in relaxation mode, finally getting some downtime with family before that third test. And we've got a full preview of the A-League season after the draw was thrown into chaos.
G'day, Colonel Arthur Sams here in the Middle East on Op Accordion. Merry Christmas to my family and friends back home in Australia. Special shout out to my wife Trudy and my two boys Michael and Alexander. Have a great Christmas. See you next year. Kronya Pola.
Hi, I'm Private Bartlett. I'm currently in the Middle East. I'd like to wish my partner Will, my dog Smudge and my family a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Hi, it's Jess from the Middle East. Just wanting to wish my family and friends a very Merry Christmas, as well as my fiance Hayden and our fur babies Mia, Lenny and Henry, as well as my military working dog Striker. Love you all.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Holly Irvine. I'm currently here deployed in the Middle East. Just wanted to say Merry Christmas to Mum, Dad, my brother and two sisters, Connor and Lenore, and Beth. See you next year.
Craftsman Adrian Bader over in the Middle East with FSC 13. Just want to say shout out to my mum Denise, my dad John and my brother Josh and Ashley. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Good day, I'm a Lance Corporal Panda, currently deployed in the Middle East. I'm gonna shout out a Christmas to my wife Sharon and my son Joshi. I'll see you soon. Daddy, love you too much.
Hey, I just found a farm where they let you chop down your own tree.
Oh, cool.
It's a big bangin' Christmas week.
Leonard?
Yeah.
There's something on the windshield.
Catch another Christmas episode tonight on 10.
The Sleeping Duck Motherboard Multi-Zone Pocket Spring System. Perimeter zoning that lets you sleep right to the edge, delivering up to 20% extra functional space, which makes the queen-size mattress feel like a king. Sleeping Duck.
Look around. As the favourites come out, it begins. Observing with an eagle eye. Mastering the art of stashing. Oh, brilliant Irv Grant. Cadbury favourites. Everyone gets their favourites.
This summer, flavour your adventure with Macca's. With chunky Mexican salsa and sour cream, the legendary El Maco is back. And so is the Saucy McRib, with delicious pork dripping in smoky barbecue rib sauce. Or why not treat yourself to a chicken palmy burger? Wherever summer takes you, we'll be here.
It's JB Hi-Fi's end of year madness with crazy store-wide deals while stocks last. Get a whopping $400 off this Samsung Galaxy Note 20 crunched to $10.99. And this is nuts. Get a massive $400 off this HP 11th Gen Intel i5 laptop. Grab this Hisense 75-inch 4K TV a steal at under $1,500. And get $200 off the Samsung Galaxy Sports Watch crunched to $449. It's JB Hi-Fi's end of year madness. Shop in store, online or call us. JB, you've done it again.
Introducing new Fairy Easy Spray. For stuck-on grease, just spray Fairy Easy Spray and grease melts away. You can also use it for an easy clean on different kitchen surfaces and items too. Switch to Fairy.
The Barbecues Galore Boxing Day sale. 30% off selected barbecues, furniture, umbrellas and coolers. 20% off Ziegler and Brown barbecues. And huge savings across these big brands. The Barbecues Galore Boxing Day sale. Now you're cooking.
So it's time for wrinkles. Neutrogena Rapid Wrinkle Repair. We've got the retinol that gives you results in 1 week. Not just any retinol, accelerated retinol SA. 1 week, it's all it takes. Neutrogena.
Shaver Shop's Boxing Day sale. Save up to 85%. Oral-B electric toothbrush only $99. Save 60%. Save 30% on GHD air hairdryer. And Philips IPL only $349. Shaver Shop's Boxing Day sale on now.
Feels like change is never going to come. I say that when enough of us believe real change is possible, it's already begun.
In a world seeking equality, we're using research to help close the gender gap and provide greater opportunities for all.
John Curtin believed that true change begins with education. That's why in a changing world, Curtin is here to give students a global perspective.
So if you're ready for change, we're ready for you.
Change is here. Curtin University.
I'm a Celebrity in Australia starts Jan 3.
9 days to go.
Tonight's Sports Report is brought to you by the incredible Sleeping Dark mattress. Choice's best mattress 2 years running.
Good evening. They say the Australian Test captaincy is the second most important job in the country, and it's a responsibility Tim Paine welcomes now more than ever. After a tough year for so many, the Aussies want to give everyone a reason to smile in the Boxing Day Test.
No pain, no gain, a mantra the Aussie cricket team lives by. 2020 is the year many want to forget, but will always remember. Tim Paine is out to ensure the lasting memory is a Test victory.
And put smiles on Australian people's faces after what's been such a tough year is certainly high on our priority list.
Take into consideration the Boxing Day Test was on tender hooks. Walking onto the MCG tomorrow is the best possible Christmas gift.
If you had told us that a few months ago, I don't think we would believe you. And, as I've said before, we're just lucky to be playing in a Boxing Day Test. Even being around the G this week and training hasn't got its usual buzz about it, but it's still a magnificent place to play cricket.
Most wouldn't have believed that Matt Wade would open in the first two tests either. Mr. Fix-It, as he's now affectionately known, is once again out to prove he belongs, with David Warner likely returning for the New Year's Test.
Wade will do a great job for us, whether he bats 1 through to 7. We know that. He's a flexible cricketer. He's shown that in all formats of the game. Yeah, and he's another guy who I think is actually improving the older he gets.
At the other end of the age bracket, Cameron Green has pressure to keep his place. The all-rounder bowling just 9 overs in Adelaide and wants his hands on the ball more often.
He's getting more and more overs each game, each day that he plays and gets through, which is awesome. So, yeah, we expect him to bowl a bit more in this Test match if required.
That being the operative, he may not be needed if a new-look India melt down once more.
KL Rahul or Rishabh Pant are dangerous players who like to take the game on and will play positively. So, if we give guys like that an inch, they'll take a mile.
Trent Simpson for 10 News First.
The Melbourne Stars are starting to get fed up with being labelled chokers. In the first 9 Big Bash seasons, the Stars have missed the finals just once, but they are yet to claim silverware.
I think the more emphasis that gets put on winning the final, the last hurrah, I guess, is kind of makes it a bit more stigma attached to it for us. But I think the way that we approached it the last 2 years has been really great.
Their biggest test this year comes tomorrow night, with the Stars facing the Sixers in a grand final rematch on the Gold Coast. Well, it's been an unusually short off-season in the A-League, but that hasn't made it a quiet one. We've had players on the move, plus the draw's been thrown into chaos on the eve of the new season, and it all kicks off on Monday.
While much has changed since Grand Final Day on August 30, one constant remains. Sydney FC is the team to beat.
Sometimes, to be honest with you, is not easy because every other team is very motivation to beat you, and they're going to play like every game. It's like grand final. Our goals is always the same, to win both trophies.
The Northern Beaches outbreak means the 6 New South Wales-based teams, including New Boys Macarthur FC and a temporarily relocated Wellington, will all play each other in the first month. In Victoria, beaten grand finalist Melbourne City should again go close, while Western United is looking to build on a strong debut season.
A couple games away from qualifying for that Champions League spot as well, towards the end of that hub. So that's something, we definitely want to achieve. I guess if you want to put some benchmarks down, we want to get to top 2 and make a grand final.
The reshuffle now means United host Adelaide in the season opener on Monday. After missing out last year with an ACL injury, new Red James Delianov is set to make just his second ever league appearance in goal against his old side.
The Olympics are around the corner as well, so that's definitely on the radar. It's been kind of, this COVID's been a blessing in disguise to a point where it's bought me time to come back onto the pitch, but I'm really excited.
Few experts have Perth finishing too high this season, a first-time coach and light on in defence, but the Glory still boasts plenty of firepower.
It's a lot of changes, but in a good way, so I'm happy, and we can see every day the atmosphere close to the players, the staff, the people work around. So it's great. A lot of smiles. So this is perfect when you want a win.
Josh Money for 10 News First.
Well, there's not much star Matilda Sam Kerr can't do. The Chelsea striker is the sister of former AFL star Daniel Kerr, so her skills with an oval-shaped ball clearly run in the family. But for always finding new ways to surprise us, Kerr walks away with our play of the Christmas Day. What a superstar she is, Charlotte, and better yet, she's a Perth girl.
Oh,
Makes it more
all
sweet.
the best ones are.
Oh, are they? Is that so? Love it. We're back soon with plenty more sport.
Thanks, ever. See you soon. Well, coming up next, Josh Holt is back with the weather forecast for Boxing Day.
This Christmas, we're giving you news delivered festively. We'll celebrate with mates 2020 style. Look back on the year with Father Bob.
We're all in this together.
And belt out a carol with Georgie. Nothing could bring the mood down.
Christmas should be cancelled.
Nothing at all. The Project Christmas Special, next.
At Carpet Call, we've got new shipments of rugs to clear from our warehouses. Choose one of our latest design fashion rugs and take 50% off the ticketed price on our website. Jump onto carpetcall.com.au now for 50% off rugs.
Famous knockout sale is on now. Over $200 off this LG bottom mount fridge, $50 off this Nokia phone, 20% off Uniden and Swan Home Security, and get 20% off Lenovo, Acer, Dell and HP computers. Plus loads more only at The Good Guys.
Spotlight's biggest sale ever starts tomorrow. 40% off all artificial potted plants, 50% off all cushions and throws, 20 to 50% off all kitchen and dining. So decorate it, celebrate it and create it for less. Sale starts tomorrow. At Spotlight, it's what you make it.
3 out of 4 women recommended Dove antiperspirant, like Jessica.
Is it moisturising? Tick. They're feeling super soft. I've been fresh all day long, even after the gym.
Would you switch?
I am making the switch to Dove.
Light years ahead of the majors.
Another real review from a satisfied Aussie broadband customer. With thousands of 5-star reviews, all Australian support and an award-winning NBN network, we're out of this world. Aussie broadband. Can't beat feedback.
Siegel's outdoor furniture sale now on. Everything up to 70% off. Fira sofa dining set was $7.99, now a crazy $4.99. Avalon modular was $8.99, now $6.99. Newport sofa set was $8.99, now $6.99. Cairns daybed was $8.99, now $6.99. Cuba 10-seater was $13.99, now $9.99. Marseille sofa dining was $13.99, now $9.99. Siegel's up to 70% off sale now on.
The Rebel sale is on. Get up to 30% off a range of footwear and football boots. Plus buy one, get one half price on all clothing. Can't wait? Shop online now or in-store tomorrow. Rebel. Sport is calling.
Ready? I'm ready. Movies, movies, movies.
Yes. Yes. Oh, yes.
10's taking you to the movies all through the holidays.
Oh, they must be expecting us.
Big movies, family movies, funny movies, action movies.
Come on, put them up.
Romantic movies, dramatic movies.
I'm sorry, could you please put a shirt on?
Movie premieres, movie blockbusters.
Do we have to steal stuff?
Yes.
And if you like movie stars, we've got them all.
It's Leo, Leo, Leo. There's only one Leo.
Holiday movies every night.
Awesome.
On 10.
Tonight, it's the Aussie flick. That's Not My Dog.
Good evening and Merry Christmas. I hope you've had a fantastic day. It was certainly an afternoon for the salad and the seafood, not the turkey. This is the reason why. 40 degrees out there today, a whopping 11 degrees above average. The hottest Christmas day we've seen in Perth in over a decade, in fact going back to 2007, and currently the city's still sitting on 31 degrees. On the satellite, clear skies for the most part of the state, a little bit of activity over the Kimberley to 9 o'clock this morning, 65 millimetres being picked up into the rain gauges in some locations. In contrast, the southwest,
fine, clear and calm and very hot. Now tomorrow, the synoptics set up. We've got a trough of low pressure maintaining its position across the northern part of the country. This trough of low pressure, which has been hugging the west coast and helping to cause the very hot temperatures, will start to track in an easterly fashion across parts of the southwest land division, the Goldfields and the Euclid. So we could see a shower in those locations tomorrow. And we've also got an approaching cold front, as you can see, just clipping the southwest capes tomorrow. So we could see some light shower activity in the far southern regions, but it's not really going to penetrate further north up to areas like Perth. Most of the rain, again, will be concentrated across the northern half of the state. So you're talking about the Kimberley, the Gascoyne, the Pilbara and the northern interior tomorrow. Over the next week, most of the heavy stuff will be through parts of the Kimberley and through the Pilbara. The southwest still around about 1 to 5 millimetres. We're not expecting too much into the gauges during that period. Interstate and Brisbane, partly cloudy, 29 the top tomorrow. Sydney, slight chance of a late shower and a top of 25. And check out Melbourne for the first day of the Boxing Day test against India, 27 degrees. Clear skies and sunshine there. 34 for Adelaide, a hot one on the way. 32 for Darwin with showers and thunderstorms. Tomorrow for Broome, 33 with a shower and storm. Newman hitting 38 degrees. 42 for Kalgoorlie in the Goldfields. Esperance overcast and 22 degrees. Beautiful Bunbury, mostly sunny with a top of 30 for Boxing Day and a little bit overcast at Albany and a top of 21. That is due to that frontal system approaching from the south. Into the lower west, we're looking at 35 for Bickley. Tomorrow will be another dry day on the way and slightly cooler than what we did see today. That is due to that trough moving further inland, allowing the doctor to come in and really cool things down through the afternoon. So some better news there. In terms of the city, we're looking at a top of 34 degrees tomorrow. Mostly sunny skies on the way, and the forecast over the next week doesn't look too shabby at all. 34 degrees, as mentioned, mostly sunny tomorrow, and then 31 on Sunday. So again, a little bit cooler, and then things start to warm up again. Monday, sunshine and a top of 35. Tuesday, a top of 39. So again, approaching that 40-degree mark. 37 degrees, partly cloudy Wednesday, and those partly cloudy skies again continuing Thursday and Friday as a change pushes through and drops down temperature slightly. But stay with us here on 10 News First. More weather coming up shortly.
Tonight's top stories, Australia's COVID Christmas, from lockdown to family lunches, how the country came together. Christmas wish answered as the WA South Australian border reopens. Quarantine-free travel now allowed between the states. And another record-breaking day for New South Wales, 69,000 COVID tests carried out. Another 7 cases diagnosed across the state as the Premier urges the public to stay away from the CBD for the Boxing Day sales. Around the country today, Australians celebrated as best they could. Thousands flocked to the coast in Perth as the city sweltered through one of its hottest Christmas days on record.
Dry heat and a light breeze, the perfect setup for a beachside Christmas roast.
I think it'll be original. I'll have some champagne and sun and swim, just to be different from everyone else in Perth.
On a day where even fitness is festive, thousands of families made the most of the scorching temperatures.
Perth is pretty nice everywhere, so it doesn't matter where you go.
What have you been doing at the beach?
Been jumping in the wave.
Some head out early to get a good spot by the water.
Well, I was here at about 6:30 in the morning. There was probably another couple of crews set up over there, and yeah, a couple crays, a few prawns, typical Aussie Christmas.
But not before opening their gifts.
I've got an airplane one in the Batman. I got a Barbie dream house, a waterproof camera.
Christmas in Perth, hotter than any capital city in the world. It was 30 degrees at 8 a.m, the mercury hitting 40 just after lunch.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a big family Christmas. Everyone's supposed to be coming down from the UK, but they're stuck in level 2, 3, 4 tiers, so they're all staying back there. So it's just the 3 of us.
Thousands who have made it home spending Christmas in isolation in WA hotels. As well as social distancing, bookings were required for some church services. As parishes stay COVID safe. In the eastern states, no lockdown could put a lid on today's joy. Sydney's northern beaches celebrating Christmas under Australia's tightest restrictions with a 5-visitor limit. The streets unseasonally quiet, residents only allowed out for exercise. Of course, Santa knows where to find everyone, and after a sleepless tippy-toe night, even he was Zooming this morning with children in hospital.
Great cookie!
moogly mooglies, it's Christmas Day.
7-year-old Annabella keeping him on his toes.
Are you going to be a good boy this year? Are you going to stay out of jail?
This is Christmas. State of jail? I know that I've been...
Nathan Brooks.
Merry Christmas!
For 10 News First.
Well, families on both sides of the South Australian and WA divide were given the best present anyone could ask for today. As the clock struck midnight, the borders reopened, meaning some very happy Christmas reunions.
The countdown finally over.
You can see how excited we are. It's just beautiful. It's been 12 months. It's just beautiful.
Loved ones separated for so long, reunited as the state reopens to South Australia. And it felt so good.
Merry Christmas.
As they left the plane, G2G passes were scanned, a quick temperature check, no more mandatory isolation. Those waiting gifted with the best Christmas present of all.
100% the best Christmas present ever. She is my Christmas present.
Earlier in South Australia, the airport was full of cheer.
It's been a long time, coming, but we're glad he's here and he's safe. And that's the main thing.
It's probably the best Christmas present I could ask for.
The border between the two states was snapped shut almost immediately after it opened in November due to a COVID outbreak in Adelaide. Premier Mark McGowan announcing earlier this week travel to and from the state would be quarantine-free from Christmas Day.
We changed our flights 3 times because we kept thinking we were going to come and we weren't. So, we're just so happy, so happy.
I'm really happy to be here because we haven't seen each other since last Christmas.
The reopening of the border to South Australia means New South Wales is now the only state with which WA has a hard border. With only a few direct flights available, tickets weren't cheap.
Probably double than what I would normally pay to get home, but I haven't been home all year, so you've been saving that up throughout the year, so you got to do it, I think.
Just to get over there, I'd just pay the amount I have to,
A small price to pay for what the festive season is really all about. Alexandra Ristway for 10 News First.
Police are hunting the driver of a ute over a hit-and-run crash in Beachborough, which left a grandmother in hospital. Security cameras caught the moment the silver dual cab collided with a white SUV. But instead of stopping to help the 60-year-old victim, the ute's driver just took off. The crash happened just before 9 this morning on Amazon Drive. It's understood the woman had been on the way to pick up her elderly father for Christmas breakfast. Fortunately, she's being treated for minor injuries. New South Wales is breathing a sigh of relief after only 7 new COVID-19 cases were recorded. Sydney-siders turned out in droves to get tested, breaking records with nearly 70,000 people getting swabbed. Despite the good news, the Premier asked Boxing Day shoppers to stay home and instead do their bargain hunting online.
We want to discourage people going to the CBD tomorrow. Please limit your activity. If you are going shopping in the CBD, make sure you wear a mask.
It's the 4th day in a row case numbers have been under 10. While most of us had the chance to spend time with friends and family today, not everyone was as fortunate. Charities right across the country stepped in to spread some much-needed Christmas cheer, lifting the spirits of those doing it tough.
A helping hand for what can be the hardest time of the year.
Yeah, have a great Christmas.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
In Sydney, masks couldn't hide the smiles on these faces as one by one gift bags packed to the brim were eagerly collected.
We have blankets, water bottles, beanies, ponchos. We have a stocking this year with some lollies, a candy cane and some Lindt chocolate.
12-year-old Annalise Hayes spends her holidays helping others, those who would otherwise spend Christmas Day alone.
I'm on my own. I just lost my daughter a couple of years ago, so I've got nobody here. So the happiness, the smiles and the happiness that they have when they get their gifts.
In a year when so many of us have done it tough, charities have been overwhelmed, struggling to keep up with demand from those who never thought they'd need help.
And the mood is different. The mood's the same, but it's muted and a little bit more thoughtful and more aware that we need each other.
COVID reminding us of what really matters.
Lovely. Isn't it lovely to be able to all get together and have a good time?
In Brisbane, traditional sit-down lunches were scaled back, but after months of separation and social isolation,
being able to get out and chat to people and just not be by themselves in one room is it's life-changing, well, year-changing anyway.
I think it's really good that we can get everyone together, even socially distanced, we can all still be a community.
A craving for connection and companionship finally fulfilled, warming hearts and empty stomachs and sparking hope for the new year.
Having this morning sort of lifts them up a little bit. Hopefully it brightens the rest of their day and then gives them something to look forward to for next year.
Samantha Butler for 10 News First.
Smaller church services have been held across the country for Christmas Day, with religious leaders reflecting on the lessons learned from the pandemic. Many services went online and it was still something to behold.
After a year when faith in the fundamentals has been profoundly shaken, many chose Christmas to seek comfort in their beliefs. In Sydney, services were disrupted. The outbreak meant congregations were capped at 300 people, temperature checks at the door, and no singing or dancing for parishioners. St Andrews put their mass online instead, broadcasting no barrier to the divine. It wasn't an issue in other parts of the country, crowds packing out midnight masses to remember a year that's left a mark on all of us.
But it's completely understandable that people are weary. We are tired, physically, emotionally, and yes, spiritually too.
Sydney Archbishop Anthony Fisher used his sermon to recount a personal story. 5 years ago today, he showed the first signs of Guillain-Barré syndrome.
I spent 5 months in hospital recovering while experiencing paralysis and pain, humiliation and total dependence.
A feeling so many have shared after a year that began with bushfires and ended in the midst of a global pandemic.
This year has been one of enforced retreat for us, and that has meant the getting of some wisdom about human vulnerability and interconnectedness. We must not lose that wisdom.
Being with people, in person, in the flesh, is profoundly significant.
God hasn't given up on us. He hasn't given up on you. He hasn't given up on our world. He has sent Jesus.
So for all the days of pain, heartache, boredom and despair, on this one day we should all have a Merry Christmas. Ursula Hager for 10 News First.
Coming up next on 10 News First Perth, the Aussies promise to be ruthless in the Boxing Day test. Plus, the Sydney Hobart is off, so the Melbourne to Devonport takes centre stage.
Doctor! I'm seeing double.
A double act is going into the Aussie jungle. This opinionated twosome is used to dishing it out.
But now, the shoe is on the other foot.
Who's going into the Aussie jungle? Jam 3.
Wake up to sleep at the 40 Winks Boxing Day sale and save up to 50% off store-wide. Plus, get an extra 10% off already reduced prices. But hurry, the extra 10% off is on for a limited time only. 40 Winks, serious about sleep.
It's JB Hi-Fi's End of Year Madness with crazy store-wide deals while stocks last. Get a whopping $250 off an i5 13-inch Apple MacBook Air. A massive $500 off this Lenovo gaming laptop. And this is nuts. Grab $250 off this Lenovo Slim laptop. 25% off gaming computers. The Samsung Galaxy S20 Plus price breakthrough smashed to $999. And get $400 bucks on the Samsung Galaxy Note 20. It's JB Hi-Fi's end-of-year madness. Shop in-store, online or call us. JB, you've done it again.
The Barbecues Galore Boxing Day sale. 30% off selected barbecues, furniture, umbrellas and coolers. 20% off Ziegler and Brown barbecues. And huge savings across these big brands. The Barbecues Galore Boxing Day sale. Now you're cooking.
The iconic Australian musical based on the life of Peter Allen, The Boy from Oz, will dazzle audiences at Crown Theatre from January 2021. Book now at Ticketmaster.
Spotlight's biggest sale ever starts tomorrow. 40% off all artificial potted plants, 50% off all cushions and throws, 20 to 50% off all kitchen and dining. So decorate it, celebrate it and create it for less. Sale starts tomorrow. At Spotlight, it's what you make it.
The Good Guys famous knockout sale is on now. 18% off this Bosch front load washer, 20% off this Hisense 55-inch TV, bonus $100 e-gift card on the Dyson V11 vacuum, and get 42% off this Acer Aspire laptop, plus loads more only at The Good Guys.
Raspberry? Blueberry? Or why not both? At Macca's, there are 36 frozen Fanta flavours to discover for just $1. You can mix your favourites or enjoy a frozen Coke. A little goes a long way at Macca's.
You might be having a baby.
No way.
Ollie, why didn't you tell me? I didn't know that you were gonna love her.
The brand new Stan original series Bump premieres New Year's Day only on Stan.
Siegel's outdoor furniture sale is now on. Everything up to 70% off. Fira dining set was $7.99, now $4.99. Cannes day bed was $8.99, now $6.99. Newport dining was $10.99, now $7.99. Siegel's up to 70% off sale now on.
Perfect Italiano is perfect for that. And Perfect Italiano is perfect for that. Not so good for that. But for a delicious meal every time, Perfect Italiano is perfect for that.
A Brexit trade deal has finally been agreed upon, marking the end of a 4-decade partnership between Britain and Europe. It's an achievement for British PM Boris Johnson, who made Brexit his life's ambition when he was London Mayor. But the European Union was more sombre.
We've taken back control of our laws and our destiny. We've taken back control of every jot and tittle of our regulation.
Parting is such sweet sorrow.
The trade transition ends next week. It's time now for more sport with Emma Lawrence. Emma, we are all awake, and the Aussie skipper had some strong words today.
Good to know, Charlotte, because this is important stuff. Tim Payne says the Aussies learned their lesson from last year's Ashes series, determined not to let an under-siege India off the hook in the Boxing Day test. After a demolition job in Adelaide, the skipper has promised to be ruthless at the MCG.
Merry Boxing Day Eve. Normally, 30,000 on day one would be a disappointing turnout, but in a year from hell, particularly in Victoria, the reduced capacity still feels like a Christmas miracle.
So to have 30,000 people there, if you had told us that a few months ago, I don't think we would believe you.
Now that it's here, the Aussies hope to make the most of it. After tearing through the Indians in Adelaide, Tim Payne wants his team to learn from the past and not let the pressure up.
We saw in England that in that fifth test that we can come unstuck pretty quickly. So a huge focus of ours since that fifth test in the Ashes has been on winning after winning.
India's mental blow coincided with some personnel losses too. King Kohli has gone home. Mohammad Shami will follow him after breaking his arm. Add in the Adelaide embarrassment, and it's easy to see why they've made 4 changes.
Some of the players they're talking about coming in to their side, like a KL Rahul or a Rishabh Pant, are dangerous players who like to take the game on and will play positively. So, if we give guys like that an inch, they'll take a mile.
In contrast, the Aussie 11 is settled, at least for now. An injured David Warner is waiting in the wings, but Payne says his return doesn't necessarily mean an exit for makeshift opener Matthew Wade.
He's another guy who I think is actually improving the older he gets. He's come back into the Australian side, batted in a number of different positions in white ball cricket and red ball cricket, and continually does the job for us, and that's why he's so valuable to our team.
Life should be a bit tougher for the Quicks in Melbourne. All-rounder Cam Green will up his bowling load, although there will still be some limitations given his injury history. Josh Money for 10 News First.
Meanwhile, Chris Green has spoken about his time away from the game after serving a 90-day ban for an illegal bowling action. The Sydney Thunder spinner says he learned plenty about his character during the downtime.
And just enjoy every opportunity as it is your last. You never know when it may be with injury or misadventure or through lack of form. So I just want to really continue to enjoy my cricket.
The Thunder host the Renegades at Manuka Oval tomorrow. Hub life isn't so bad, at least according to Melbourne star Hilton Cartwright. The all-rounder is one of several Big Bash players spending Christmas away from home, but says hubs do have their upsides, with a busy flying schedule now a thing of the past.
But for me, seeing that we've got a flight every on average, probably every 7-8 days, that's a massive difference. And like chartered as well, so you've got more leg room, you've got a couple of spots next to you, so it's actually luxurious flying.
The Stars face the Sixers in the second game of tomorrow night's double-header in a clash between second and third on the ladder. Well, sadly, there's no Sydney to Hobart this year, but we still have plenty of yacht racing to look forward to. Sunday's Melbourne to Devonport doesn't have as much fanfare, but there is still a lot on the line.
Sailors are no strangers to mapping their course. In the case of Barney Walker and Jade Cole, it's an ambitious 4-year voyage.
A year ago, we started a campaign to compete at the 2024 Paris Olympic Games in a class that's a new discipline for Paris, and it's called the mixed two-handed offshore class.
The new discipline has allowed Walker to change tack after last trialling for an Olympic spot 2 decades ago in a different event.
And I thought my Olympic career was over, basically. I didn't think there'd be another opportunity to go and have a crack at getting to the games, but you know, this two-handed event offshore is, as I said before, right down my alley, and very excited to try and get there.
To achieve it, both need to relearn the ropes. The experienced pair has raced in almost 50 Sydney to Hobarts between them, but this class is a different challenge altogether.
I've professionally crewed boats all my life, and we've always had 12, 16 people. And I've always just given the orders to go and get things done. Now I've got to actually give it and go and go and do the work with Jade. So it's quite difficult.
The first few practice runs haven't been smooth sailing, but at least no one on deck has stormed off.
Last weekend we had a small accident with one of the sails, and Jade turned around and said, "Gee, you're calm, Barney. If I was sailing with my husband, we'd be divorced right now."
The immediate focus, however, is Sunday's Melbourne to Devonport, where current forecasts suggest a race record could just fall.
At this stage, with that front coming through, it's going to be a very fast race.
A fast start in a marathon journey to an Olympic berth and possibly even a medal. Tim Morgan for 10 News First.
In the Premier League, Liverpool is the star at the top of the tree this Christmas.
Look, it's the best position you can be in a moment, but that's it. That's all. We know how tough it is, how tough it was, how tough it is, how tough it will be.
Only 2 of the last 9 leaders at Christmas have failed to win the title. Ironically, that was Liverpool on both occasions. The Reds will look to build on their 4-point lead against West Brom this weekend. And a big Merry Christmas, of course, to all of the athletes, coaches and commentators, Charlotte. But, of course, looking forward to the Boxing Day test tomorrow. Hopefully the Aussies can get the job done once again.
Who would have thought a few months ago that there'd be
still so much sport going on,
it's incredible.
And the Boxing Day test.
Incredible.
Love it.
Thanks,
Enjoy.
Emma. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
See you later. Well, coming up next, Josh Holt is back with a final check on the weather for Boxing Day.
A Brownlow winner is going into the Aussie jungle. But keep it on the down low.
I think we all know who this is going to be.
Yes, we do.
Start the new year brighter with Beacon's Boxing Day sale. We've dropped prices on all our lights, fans and globes. Shop now and save on everything store-wide. Hurry, sale ends 3rd of Jan.
Here at Amart Furniture, it's our Boxing Day sale with up to 50% off a huge range of stylish pieces. So hurry on in. Amart Furniture. These offers available for a limited time only.
He's not speeding.
He's not drunk. He's just tired.
Oh my God!
Fatigue is a silent killer on WA roads. Don't trust your tired self. Authorised by the State Government, Perth.
The Good Guys' famous knockout sale is on now. Over $200 off this LG bottom mount fridge, $50 off this Nokia phone, 20% off Uniden and Swan home security, and get 20% off Lenovo, Acer, Dell and HP computers. Plus loads more only at The Good Guys.
Well, it's time for wrinkles. Neutrogena Rapid Wrinkle Repair. We've got the retinol that gives you results in 1 week. Not just any retinol, accelerated retinol SA. 1 week, it's all it takes. Neutrogena.
Siegel's outdoor furniture sale is now on. Everything up to 70% off. Fira dining set was $7.99, now $4.99. Cannes day bed was $8.99, now $6.99. Newport dining was $10.99, now $7.99. Siegel's up to 70% off sale now on.
Spotlight's biggest sale ever starts tomorrow. 30 to 50% off the entire range of Manchester, with massive savings on pillows, quilts, quilt cover sets, sheets, towels and more. So decorate it, celebrate it and create it for less. Sale starts tomorrow. At Spotlight, it's what you make it.
Lock in your maximum rebate now with Sunboost, Australia's largest solar company.
Secure your best price now on the popular 6.6 kilowatt system for an unbeatable $39.1 by December 31.
Call 1300 Sunboost.
My life is about to start. Nothing's gonna stop us.
The movie event of the year comes home to Disney+.
That's big time, Joe!
It's the perfect holiday treat. Disney and Pixar's Soul.
So good!
Now streaming on Disney+.
The Snooze Super Summer Sale is now on. Save up to 50% off mattresses, including Sealy, Madison and Tempur. And for a limited time, take an extra 10% off all mattresses. Plus, save up to 40% off bed frames. Hurry, sale on now.
What a little snooze can do.
Look around as the favourites come out. It begins. Observing with an eagle eye. Mastering the art of stashing. Brilliant Irv Grant. Cadbury favourites. Everyone gets their favourites.
This Christmas, we're giving you news delivered festively. We'll celebrate with mates 2020 style. Look back on the year with Father Bob.
We're all in this together.
And belt out a carol with Georgie. Nothing could bring the mood down.
Christmas should be cancelled.
Nothing at all. The Project Christmas Special. Next.
Good evening. After the Christmas scorcher today, we're expecting a drop in the temperatures for Boxing Day. We'll get to that forecast in just a moment. Firstly, clear skies across WA at the moment, and also the rainfall has backed off through parts of the Kimberley after some decent falls in the last 24 hours, upwards of 60 millimetres. On the synoptic chart, a trough of low pressure will lie through the northern areas of the state. No surprises there. But our trough of low pressure, which has been helping to really keep those temperatures up over the past couple of days, is on the move. It is tracking in an easterly fashion across the WA inland towards parts of the Goldfields and the Eucla, where we could see the odd shower tomorrow. And then we've got another cold front, which is going to clip the far southwest Cape late tomorrow. Moving into the forecast rainfall, most of the heavy stuff will be through the northern areas, the Kimberley, the Pilbara, the Gascoyne, the northern interior. There's our trough tracking east, and with it, it will increase the chance of showers and possibly the odd thunderstorm as well as it moves across those inland parts. But I'm not expecting too much rain into the gauges. The moisture levels in the atmosphere certainly a lot higher through those northern areas of the state, thus the heavier rainfall. Kununurra tomorrow 33 degrees with showers and thunderstorms on the way. Broome 33, Port Hedland 35. Kalgoorlie, as mentioned, slight chance of a storm and a top of 42 degrees. 22 for Esperance tomorrow, looking a little bit overcast. Bunbury going for 30 degrees and overcast for Albany as well. For the lower west, cooler than what we saw today. 35 degrees for Bickley, still warm but 4 degrees cooler than this afternoon. Jandakot hitting 34, Mandurah 30 and dwelling up a top of 32. 34 for the city. It's still 5 above average for this time of year, but 6 degrees cooler than what we saw today. Mostly sunny Sunday, a sunny Monday and 35 degrees. Temperatures spike back up Tuesday and Wednesday next week before another cool change. Drops them down on Thursday, but still a dry forecast on the way, Charlotte.
And pretty warm. Thank you, Josh, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you. Well, that is 10 News First for the 25th of December. Thank you for spending the evening with us, and we're thinking of those without loved ones this year. Let's hope for a better 2021. I'm Charlotte Goodlet from the team at 10. Merry Christmas. See you later.